Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Michael Carver. I am a medical student here at Tompkins Cortland Community College, or TC3 for short, if you are local. And I have been doing some medical research for quite a while now. And if there's anything that no one's really talking about or considering it as a major threat to our world, and that is the obesity epidemic. And no, I am not calling people who are overweight or fat. That is very discriminative and a propaganda tool used by a lot of food corporations to influence the consumers to say that, oh, it's the person's own fault. What I'm here to tell you is to convince you that we needed to tackle on one of the most dangerous substances that's causing obesity. What I have in my hand is a bag of sugar. And now, not many people figure out that sugar is bad for you because they're addictive, they're sweet, and they taste really good. And you know what I compare this to? Drugs like cocaine or crystal meth, or even the deadliest substance like crocodile that can make you look like a zombie. But this one is so small and yet very innocent looking because a lot of people just take it for granted and there's no reason to be worried about. Well, I'm here to tell you that we got to do some compare and contrast between the products made by few food corporations that determine how much food that we want to take. And what I have with me right now is two pairs of gloves in my hand, which I'm going to put on right now. And I'm only doing this because of scientific reasoning as well as to keep my hands clean. And I have a body mass index with me, this small like metal thing that could like detect how much grams it is or how much you weigh. Body mass index, or BMI for short, helps determine based on the person's not only the height as well as like the width of the person as whole. And usually, women are 5 times more likely to be obese than men because of pregnancy as well as other emotional tendencies that they couldn't comprehend. And with me on the right side is the clear plastic cup that we will use to check out how much grams sugar is being piled up. And let's start off with something easy. Let's start off with dairy pure milk over here. And although this is like a pretty huge one, this one doesn't have a lot of sugar in contrast. And right here is we can like check out the nutrient facts. So whenever you're shopping, always check these numbers and percentages. They will really make the difference and show you the amounts in it. But what I found something unfamiliar though is that there is no percentage for sugar. Now, why is that? Well, it's because food corporations are hiding the secret details of the amount of sugar that, and they're also unregulated by the federal government, so they could just slip pass through easily through the FDA. And the amount of sugar that it has is around like 12 grams of sugar, and that's not a lot. So what we could do is that we're gonna turn this bad boy, making sure it's all ready and go. Lightly touch it. So let's try 12 grams. So right now it hit at around 13 grams sugar. And this is how much sugar is in the dairy milk, which isn't too much, but that's still plenty of it for the amount of calories to intake. So we'll grab another bottle that I have called the Sam's Cola, which is a knockoff brand of Coca-Cola, or even produced and manufactured by a couple of the soda corporations like PepsiCo or Coca-Cola. And remember, check the nutrient facts on the product that you're buying because it makes a whole lot of difference. So right now, this one says 43 grams of sugar right here, 40 grams. So we're gonna get this sugar bag with us again, open it up, and fill it up to 43 and see how much that is in the sugar. All right, so we hit around 43. And that's almost the same amount as a soda can, which is very shocking because, of course, it's like super sweet, because of like fruits and other ingredients. But sugar makes up the majority of it to keep the consumers addictive on it. So now we'll take another biggest soda can that I got so far in my hand. And this is an Arizona sweet tea with me in my hand. And this was an unusual one because for this one has not only the amount of calories per serving, as well as per amount of calories per container wise. And so for per serving, it's like 100 calories, and on the bottom says 23 grams sugar. And that's like around here that we measured for like 12 grams. But this one in particular is 280 calories per container alone. And that has over 66 grams of sugar. So what we're going to do is that we got to fill it up again. Now, let's see. Wow. Wow. Look at this much sugar. And that is about to be overfilled at this point. And this one is like extremely sweet and extremely addictive. So that's going to cause a lot of consumers to buy it. And this is what I mean about it. But we put this back in here. If we want to do a comparison on the amount of sugar, say if a person consumes around like 500 grams of sugar per day alone, that would be over 2,000 calories. 2,000 calories alone. And I'm not just talking about like eating candies or sweets or desserts. That's like all combined on a daily substance. And a lot of these products that I have brought a soda to are basically for people who are in low income as well as those who are in the minority because they couldn't even afford like gluten free or a lot more healthy nutrient foods. And this isn't just a fast food issue. This is like normal for food companies to just outcompete fast food restaurants that could just make a meal real quick with a little bit of sugar on it. And one of the best ways we needed to combat on this food corporation is that we needed to tax sugar like we taxed on cigarettes and tobacco. And it worked out perfectly. It like slowed the increase of the amount of people who smoke per capita. And there's a lot of places all over the world that did this. And in Mexico, it's like used to be one of the biggest population of obesity in the world at the time. And they introduced a 10% sugar tax to combat the food corporations. And what's really scary about it is not just the people that are protesting. And there's this one incident when one of the politicians or former statesmen was sending death threats to his entire family just because of some food substance that's inside of it. And it's really scary to think about it. And it's not only the sugar tax that we needed to combat, we also needed to change our cultural mindset and improve our mentality to be appeasing against the government to stop the encroachment of the food corporations. And it's a really long process similar to the obesity epidemic. And like I said, by 2030, half of us are going to be obese at one point in life. But if we act fast and act quick enough, we could slow the growth rate of obesity as well as studying the effects of it and how we could end the obesity epidemic once and for all. And we also want to make it a lot more affordable for a lot of people to try out actual food like lettuce, grape, apple, a little bit of meat here and there, but not a lot on like grain because grain has like a lot of sugar in it. And again, I just want to say thank you very much for listening to my take on the obesity issue that we're having an issue right now. So I want to say thank you everyone for listening to my opinion, and I hope this will help stop people or influence them to change their ways on their daily intake and think a lot more about themselves. Wish you all great luck.